Weird. Wow. Okay, Vadim.
Yeah.
I think they really did it. Hey guys, it's Max. We just got in the second generation of Amazon Echo Buds, and believe it or not, these have some very unique features that I haven't seen in other headphones that do compete with the AirPod Pros. So we are gonna see which one of these you should buy. Should you spend the extra money on the AirPods or go for these less expensive options? And it's interesting that it says it's made for iPhone and iPad and it works with Android. So they're definitely targeting iOS users. Now let's go ahead and pull this thing out of the box. And when I saw the pictures, it looked very similar to the AirPod Pro case. You guys can see it's a little bit shorter now, but the design is almost a copy. It's not as white though, it's almost like a gray color instead of white. Let's get this thing open. Whoa, we lost it. I actually kind of like that the case has this matte texture. I feel like it's not gonna get as scratched up like the AirPods and the new AirTags. And it also has a flat bottom, so if you want to just set it down like this, you can, and instead of having it lay flat like this. But of course, as you guys can probably tell, it is definitely thicker than the AirPods Pro, and it's also a little bit longer as well, so it's not gonna be as convenient in your pocket. You will notice it more so. And even though the case is larger, it actually has less rated battery life. The buds on both are rated for roughly about 5 hours, but the total battery life rating is about 15 hours for the second gen Amazon Echo Buds compared to over 24 hours for the AirPods Pro. Of course, we have USB Type-C for charging, and if you want to spend $20 more, you can get wireless charging as well. And on the inside, we have a cable to charge them up, and then a fit kit to be able to, make sure that these fit properly inside your ear canal, which is very important for the active noise cancellation and to get a good bass response. We also have these wingtips that you can attach to get a better seal inside your ear, especially if you're gonna be active. Now, what I'm most excited about testing is not only the active noise cancellation, which I have to say was quite terrible in the original version. We actually didn't even put out a review, but the new vent feature that only the AirPods Pro have built into them, which really helps with that sealed design. So now let's go ahead and open this up. And as you guys can see, these buds are fairly large. They are quite a bit larger than the AirPods Pro. And even though this does look quite large, Amazon said that they made this about 20 or 25% smaller, so the older ones were huge. And now let's go ahead and get this set up for pairing. You have to have the Alexa app downloaded, and in theory, bam, there you go. You have these opened up and close, and automatically finds it. It took, I don't know, a minute and a half just to show up on the list. And we are connected. We have a couple tips here. I'm gonna skip through just so we can test these out. And let's put them in for the first time. All right, I wonder if active noise cancellation is on or if it's off. Having a hard time telling. They definitely block out a lot of sound. And to be completely honest, I don't know if I can tell a difference as far as the vent feature. With the AirPod Pros, literally you put them in, you feel that pressure, and all of a sudden, like a second later, it like disappears. You can really tell that it's working. Whereas with these ones, I don't know. Is that just a gimmick? Is something actually working? And now let's go ahead and test out the active noise cancellation. Let me go on, and looks like it is already turned on. So it's enabled out of the gate, and I can still hear my voice pretty dang well, but that AC vent noise definitely is mostly gone, or all the way gone. Let me try to take a listen. Mostly gone. Let's pop these in. Weird, wow. Okay, Vadim.
Yeah.
I think they really did it.
Really?
Well, that noise cancellation is definitely better on the Echo Buds.
No way.
I still hear some of the vent, and I still hear my voice, the higher parts of my voice, kind of like the Samsungs, but they definitely get rid of more low-end noise than the AirPods Pro. I gotta say, good job, Amazon. These actually work good for noise cancellation where the previous ones were terrible. And now, what I'm curious about, and this is where all the headphone makers really struggle, and that is the pass-through or the ambient mode or whatever you wanna call it. So let's go ahead, I'm gonna be talking, and I'll hit this button. All right, let's see how this sounds.
How do I sound?
You actually sound pretty dang good.
Really?
I sound weird. I sound really weird. It's weird. I haven't heard this before. Almost like lispy.
Oh, really?
It's really, really weird. Now that vent sounds very natural, but I just have a lot of background noise. Let's go ahead and switch here. I have to say I love the controls on these. You just press and hold. Yeah, okay, the ambient mode or it's way, way better. Transparency mode sounds awesome and way more natural here. And let's go to the active noise cancellation. And now I feel like I want these in as far as blocking out the sound. We're actually gonna go to on an airplane in a couple days. I'm probably gonna take these with me because that active noise cancellation is a lot better. Now there's a few more special features that are very unique with the second gen EchoBuds, which I'll cover in just a bit. But right now I wanna get into our sound quality comparison. We're gonna listen to a few songs that I've tested in the past so I know kind of what to look for, and we'll see how these compare. Let's go ahead and get started with the AirPods Pro.
I'm singing, take me to a world of silver, no more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers, take me somewhere unfamiliar, bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started.
All right, well, that was very interesting. These things are tuned completely differently. The AirPods Pro, we have a lot of high end and then good mid and pretty loud mids, I guess. And the bass is good, it's not overpowering, but it's decent. Where these are very, very bass heavy out of the get-go. You still have the highs, mids are a little bit lacking, at least in this song, and the bass is just low and powerful and strong, which sounded fantastic, and I think it might work really well for this next song. All right, wow, actually, these are a lot better than I expected. I thought, you know, they might be good for the price, they might sound decent. They sound a lot better, especially in this test. And I don't know if it's just because it's a little more simple, we have more separation between the bass and the mids and the highs, but it sounded fairly well balanced. The highs sounded sharper than they did in the last track, and the stereo kind of effect in that song also sounded quite good. For this one, I really have no complaints. I guess the only one is a couple times I tried turning it up a little bit louder, and I'm somebody that likes to listen to music very loudly, too loud honestly, and the AirPods Pro do get louder, but other than that, I'm quite surprised at the sound quality for the money. But with that said, for this next song, which is a rock track, things get very difficult. There's a lot going on, and this is where most headphones really struggle.
I see it coming as we press on. We will not relent. Now we're never till the day that we dreamed of. I see it coming. We'll never back down. We will not relent. Now we're never till the day that we dreamed of. I see it coming alive.
All right, wow, that was actually pretty enjoyable. I don't know if my face could say anything. The only thing I really wish for is maybe a little bit more high end, where these have a lot of high end, but man, that low end bass and when those drums are banging, and even the mids sounded surprisingly good. I honestly thought this song is where these were gonna fall apart and the separation between the different frequencies would just get all muddied up, which is typical with rock music, but they actually did a pretty good job.
Can I mention something?
Yeah.
Dude, those EchoBuds are like extremely loud to me. Like,
Are they?
I can literally hear the lyrics. No joke. I can hear.
How
them
are
saying-
these? How are the AirPods Pros?
I just hear like a little bit, but I can't make out the words.
But you can make out the words with these.
For real, I can
Really?
I can listen to the song from here.
That's interesting because for me, these are actually quieter. When I'm listening to them, I want it to be a little bit louder, and they feel super sealed in. Where these ones, they're my ears don't feel like they're plugged up, whereas with these, they feel like they're plugged up, just like with the Galaxy Buds. The only thing I guess would make sense if they're like more like open back, maybe that's what they mean about the vented design, because Apple actually made a big deal about this, and you could tell, you put it in, it's plugged just like these, and all of a sudden, poof, that pressure goes away. These are plugged from the very beginning, and then that pressure doesn't go anywhere, it stays plugged. So maybe that's their version of vented, is open back, or like, hey, let's get all the sound out of there for your neighbors to hear. Wow, so that's a really good point. If you care about only you being able to hear your music, you might not want to get these. Don't get them. Yeah.
For an airplane.
And now let's compare the next thing that is very important for these kind of wireless earbuds, and that is the microphone quality. I have both connected to my phone, and let's go ahead and take a listen. This is the microphone quality using Apple's AirPods Pro in a fairly quiet environment with some AC noise in the background. And this is the microphone quality using the brand new Amazon Echo Buds 2nd generation in a fairly quiet environment that does have some AC noise. Go ahead and let me know which one sounded better to you down in the comments section below. I want to hear your guys' opinions. And the next thing I want to cover is just the differences in the capability. I said that there's a couple other things that these can do. Of course, we already saw that equalizer. We have some different options, and you can customize what the controls do, so you're just tapping on the surface for that. And then there's something that is very interesting here. You can go back, and there is a workout mode where these buds will actually track your miles, calories, your pace, things like that. Now, I honestly am a little bit skeptical about that, but I haven't tried it. It just seems weird to have an earbud that can track that, and realistically, how accurate is that going to be? Of course, you're not gonna get that with the AirPods Pro, so that might be a feature that is worth using. You know, Apple, of course, wants you to buy an Apple Watch for a lot more money if you wanna, you know, track those kind of things, and that's something I'm gonna have to test out in the future. And as far as prices, the AirPods come in at $250 compared to $140 if you get the wireless charging case. Of course, we have a link right now in the video description where you can pick these up for under $200, sometimes $190. And the Echo Buds will end up going on sale. These always do, so you guys can check out the prices at the time when you're watching this video. But overall, these are less expensive, and I was really surprised in multiple areas. These smoked the previous first generation Echo Buds. Those didn't sound good. The active noise cancellation was not good. They were really large. The case was large. These are a lot better, and I was really surprised that the active noise cancellation is actually better than the AirPods Pro. And with that, when I was listening to that rock track, I definitely preferred listening with the Echo Buds. The more classical, modern twist on classical, that sounded equally good on both. I did like the lower end, and the first EDM song with vocals sounded better on the AirPods Pro. But overall, for the price, these performed much better than I expected. So if you're somebody that wants the Amazon Alexa assistant, or if you want to integrate, or you want those the health features, the tracking features, or just to get a lower price than AirPods, these definitely are a compelling option. But you guys let me know your thoughts down in that comment section below. This has been Max. Click that circle above if you guys want to subscribe to see more videos like this one, and to help us reach 1 million subscribers before the end of the year. We would greatly appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.